Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Lauren Werber at Congregation Beth Adam in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm glad that we can share some of our Shabbat experience with each of you. I hope you enjoy our service. Most of the liturgy is written by our liturgy team at Beth Adam, and I hope is a meaningful way to begin Shabbat together. Listen. Listen for the silence. Our lives are confused by clutter. Interruptions abound, buffeting us about, betraying the silence, slicing into our sense of self. Shabbat provides a wall against intrusion, yet we must, week by week, construct that wall for ourselves. Shabbat provides the opportunity to change our pace, to find inner peace. Shabbat provides the opportunity to discover playful connection with others, to recover our harmony with a force greater than our own, to uncover our oneness with the universe. Listen. Listen. Tempting, tantalizing with its continual presence, Shabbat reappears in our cycle of life, offering the possibilities we can only imagine. Yet noise overpowers our ability to hear. Busyness overwhelms our search for calm. We struggle with the demands of our daily lives, losing our power to find serenity. A serenity that is offered to us through our heritage, through the wisdom of our ancestors, ordaining a day of rest. We must for a moment listen to the silence within ourselves that allows us to hear the sounds of the universe. We must, for a time, close our eyes to the ever-growing list of things we must do in order to see the beauty that surrounds us. White clouds circling above, songs of birds flying through the air, smiles of friendship reaching outward, freely given. Shabbat offers us that opportunity. It reminds us that life offers beauty and joy. Life offers gifts of music, of art, of nature. In the silence of Shabbat, we touch the treasures of friendship and love. It is ours to savor. It is our choice to make. Ma yafeh hayom, how beautiful is this day, a Sabbath of peace, an opportunity to choose peacefulness and quiet and calm and beauty.
Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
On Sunday, we will celebrate Mother's Day, which is, of course, originally a day to honor mothers, I really see it as much more than that, as honoring both the strong women in our lives and those who nurtured us, whether they identify as mothers, whether they identify as women or not. And so this reflection about the Shabbat candles, in a sense, could also describe the mothers and the others who nurtured us throughout our lives. On Shabbat, we light the candles. Candles bring forth light, illuminating the darkness. Candles offer us warmth, providing comfort. Candles awaken us as we reach for possibilities. As we light these candles, let us use their light to stretch beyond ourselves, touching others, bettering our world. Baruch ha'or ba'olam, blessed is the light within the world. Baruch ha'or ba'adam, blessed is the light within each person. Baruch ha'or ba'Shabbat, blessed is the light of Shabbat. As we look at a broken world, it is sometimes a struggle to be able to envision a day that is more whole, a time of peace, a time of compassion, of connection, of love. These words are a prayer for peace adapted from the words of Ibtisam Mahamid and Tamar Elad Applebaum. They are a Muslim and a Jewish woman living in Israel and dreaming of peace for their children and all children. Let us be a light for peace. Now more than ever during these days of so much crying, a light to illuminate our future, face to face, a light across borders, beyond fear. May we be among those who bring light where there is darkness, healing where there is brokenness, and peace to all of the earth's inhabitants. Baruch Or HaShalom, blessed is the light of peace. And blessed is the dream of peace and the knowledge that days will be better and that we can help to make peace. Na'aseh Shalom, let us make peace in the world. Let us make peace for ourselves and for all the world.
Na'aseh Shalom Ba'olam, Na'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Ha'olam, Imaru Shalom, Na'aseh Shalom, Na'aseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom, na'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
May we discover the ability to feel the pain of others, work for others, among others, and there come to feel a part of that to which we belong. May we discover the ability to be alone so that we can go out of doors each day among the flowers and trees, among the birds and all that live, beneath the sky of stars and planets, and there come to feel a part of that to which we belong. May we discover the ability to sit in silence so that we may hear not the voices of others, but our own voices, the beat of our hearts, the sound of our breath, the utterance of our soul. And here come to feel a part of that to which we belong. And may we discover the ability to slow down, to stop, to appreciate, to rest and reflect and rejuvenate. May we discover the serenity, the connection, the love that is Shabbat. And here come to feel a part of that to which we belong. How good it is to come together in spirit, to be a part of belonging to one another, a part of belonging to our world. Hine matov, how good it is for brothers and sisters, for all people to sit together.
Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov, ya la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov, ya la 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 la. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov, ya la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov, ya la 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 la. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
As I mentioned at the beginning of our time together, we celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday, and it's bigger than mothers. And so in honor of Mother's Day, I'm going to do something a little different, and we'll see how it goes, and share some quotes that I have found from people who I consider to be strong Jewish women. But again, it's not only about women. It's about people who care, people who nurture, people who strive to make the world better. It's about underdogs and outsiders as we look at these women that I've selected, or the words that they said. Gloria Steinem, the famous feminist, is often thought of as Jewish. Her mother was Jewish. Well, excuse me, her mother was Christian, her father was Jewish, and she definitely didn't identify as Christian, but she didn't identify really as Jewish either, except to say that wherever there is anti-Semitism, she feels Jewish. And she said she was Jewish in as much as she felt like an outsider, and the quintessential outsiders are the Jewish people. It's an interesting way of looking at her identity, and at seeing herself as Jewish in some capacity, certainly in terms of the relationship to those who dislike us as Jews. And it's sort of in that spirit that I looked at the quotes that I chose to share tonight, that they're quotes that happen to be by women and by Jewish women, and about women. So they're not only women's quotes, but they are about what it means to be a woman and what it means to be a woman in our world. And yet it would be very easy, and I encourage each of you to replace women with other groups as well as women, so that these quotes talk about how we take outsiders, how we take underdogs, and how we support them to realize what they can become. And women are certainly a group that I include there, but there are others as well. So I'm just going to read a few quotes, maybe reflect on them a little, and we'll see how it goes. The first one is from 1997 by Phyllis Chesler, the sister of Sigmund Freud. And apparently Freud, we know Freud had asked the question, what do women want? And she decided to answer. So this is her answer. So in response to my brother Sigmund Freud's infamous query, what do women want? For starters, and in no particular order, freedom, food, nature, shelter, leisure, freedom from violence, justice, music, poetry, non-patriarchal family, community, compassionate support during chronic or life-threatening illness and at the time of death, independence, books, physical, sexual pleasure, education, solitude, the ability to defend ourselves, love, ethical friendships, the arts, health, dignified employment, and political comrades. So this is quoted in 1997, as I said, and is a pretty good list of not just what women want, but perhaps what any group, right, any group seeking equality would ask for. It's nothing exceptional, and yet they are very hard-earned. There are very hard-earned things on this list. So I hope that we continue to work for all of those things for us and for everybody else. This is Judy Chicago back in 1975. And she said, the acceptance of women as authority figures or as role models is an important step in female education. It is this process of identification, respect, and then self-respect that promotes growth. It sounds simple, right? The very beginning, the acceptance of women as authority figures or as role models is an important step in female education. We often forget that if we don't have role models, it's a whole lot harder to figure out who we want to become and how to become that. A very simple example that this reminded me of was way back in my rabbinical school days when we took one speech class, one or two speech classes, and I had a male instructor, and I wanted to work on my public speaking skills. And he was very kind and agreed to meet with me and do private sessions where we reviewed my sermons together. My issue was that at that point in time, I had no female role models who were giving impassioned speeches. It doesn't mean there were none out there. We've had predecessors out there, but they weren't known the way the great male speakers were. So I wasn't familiar with any women I could look to in order to understand how I could make a passionate point and be understood and not be perceived as strident or whiny or loud in a way that stopped people from hearing me. So if you think about how a man might get his point across in this time, right? They might raise their voice. They might slam their hand on a table. A woman doing that looked very different. And there were no role models that I had at that time. So Judy Chicago's point is very well taken, that until we have those role models and those role models are accepted, it becomes very hard to figure out how to express what we want to be. And again, that applies not only to women, and I hope is something that we take seriously in seeking diversity and seeking different voices in any place that that we are and where we can help to facilitate that diversity. Do two or three more. The problem, excuse me, this is Betty Friedan, another great feminist, of course, and this is in the Feminine Mystique in 1963. The problem that has no name, which is simply the fact that American women are kept from growing to their full human capacities, is taking a far greater toll on the physical and mental health of our countries than any known disease. Did you get that one right? The problem that women are kept from growing to their full capacities is taking a greater toll on the physical and mental health of our countries than any disease. It's a strong statement. And again, one to look at in our world now. If we're not allowing people to reach their full potential, if we are stunting that process in some way, then we are creating, essentially, according to Betty Friedan, a crisis of mental and physical health throughout the world. And I think it's both, right? She says the mental and physical health of our countries. So we're moving the notion of disease into how our countries, how our land, how our societies function. But it's also, over time, we've realized it takes a toll on the physical and mental health of the individual. And so it becomes an urgent issue that we correct these inequalities and these injustices to the best of our ability. This is Elaine Bernstein-Partnow in Hear Us Roar, and this is 1988. And there was something about it, and something about it being written, what is it? more than 25 years ago. And the tone that struck me with its optimism and something I hope we can grab back. So 1988, times change, symbols change, and so do we. We don't bury our hopes for the future in cedar chests and mothballs anymore. We get out there and run for our future, for our health, for our sanity. We are the women of the 80s. Kind of charming to read now, but very serious in the 80s, right? That we're no longer hiding out. We are taking charge of our future. We're at a moment in our history where we all need to make that decision for ourselves and for others, for other groups, for other individuals. Are we going to run for our future, for our health, for our sanity? And finally, one last quote, Gloria Steinem. If we're by ourselves, we come to feel crazy and alone. We need to make alternate families of small groups of women who support each other, talk to each other regularly, can speak their truths and their experiences, and find they're not alone in them, that other women have them too. It makes such a huge difference. Back to the very beginning, if we're by ourselves, we come to feel crazy and alone. We need to make alternate families of small groups of women who support each other. For Gloria Steinem, that was very much about small groups specifically of women, and she's talked more about that women's experience is such and women's way of being is such that small groups of women are a powerful way to feel the love of community and to feel whole and to feel connected. Again, I wanted to end with that one because I think it is much broader than that, and we're in a different time where for some, being in same-gendered groups is very powerful and very important. But there's also the side of we just need to find smaller alternate families, right? People who understand us, who will listen to us, who we can listen to, who we can support. And it's through those connections that we are not alone and that we are not, we mitigate the anxieties and the feelings of isolation that can sometimes prey upon us. And so those small groups, perhaps now, are as important as ever. And I hope that for those of you connected to Beth Adam, this becomes one of those, or is one of those small groups for you. If you want it to be and you're not yet connected, connect with us and let us know. And I hope that people have other small groups of connection as well. It helps us be our best selves, right? It helps us become that which we sometimes feel pushed against. And it helps us find our place in our world. So in honor of Mother's Day, we give thanks for the strong women and the strong people in our life who give us wisdom and help us figure out how to lead our lives. With that, we turn to the memory of those types of people, of those we have loved and lost. And these are the words of author Donna Ashworth. On those days when you miss someone the most, as though your memories are sharp enough to slice through skin and bone, remember how they loved you. Remember how they loved you and do that for yourself in their name, in their honor. Love yourself as they loved you. They would like that. On those days when you miss someone the most, love yourself harder. Loving ourselves with all of our identities, loving those who have come before us. We recite our memorial reflection. Ein bidei hamavet hakoach la'korma shetamun balev. Death cannot take that which is locked in our hearts. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. With our courage and our strength, we do not forget. Acts of kindness, deeds of courage will remain. Beauty created, wisdom shared is not lost. With our tears and our sorrow, we remember. Im dema'ot beinenu be'et avlenu, nishmor al zecher ahuvenu. With our tears and our sorrow, we remember. Zecher tzadik livracha. May the memory of good people bless our days. In honor of Shabbat, we offer a blessing over wine, our symbol of joy. As we lift this cup of wine, tribute to life's enchantments, may we find joy and contentment in our human endeavors. Bruchim hachayim ba'olam. Blessed is the life within the world. Bruchim hachayim ba'adam. Blessed is the life within us. L'chaim.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
May we know blessings those who are near. May we know blessings those who are far. May the Sabbath bring its goodness to everyone soon, wherever you are. May we know blessings through the day. May we know blessings through the night. May health be for our children. All things soon be right. May we know blessings in our comings. May we know blessings when we depart. May we live each day with peace and wisdom in each heart. Ken Yehi. May it be so. I wish each of you a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat that includes some quiet, some silence, and most of all, a Shabbat of peace. Shabbat Shalom.